Welcome to 6 Leadership Principles Every New Leader Must Follow. Did you know that 60% of new leaders fail within their first 18 months? Shocking, right? But don't worry, this doesn't have to be you. Here's the secret. Successful leaders follow certain principles that set them apart. These aren't the usual tips you hear everywhere. We're diving into unique, powerful strategies that really work. For example, did you know that leaders who show vulnerability are trusted 71% more by their teams? Or that empathy can boost team productivity by 20%? In this video, you'll learn how to harness the power of vulnerable leadership and use empathy as your secret weapon. We'll also explore the magic of visionary storytelling and cutting-edge problem-solving techniques. Want to know how to create a growth mindset culture? We've got you covered. And we'll wrap it up with the art of strategic delegation. Ready to transform your leadership skills? Let's get started and turn you into the leader your team needs. Keep watching to unlock these powerful principles. Chapter 1. The Power of Vulnerable Leadership. Leadership isn't just about strength, it's also about showing vulnerability. It's a powerful way to build trust and authenticity within your team. Brené Brown, a well-known researcher, says, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. Embracing vulnerability means being open about your challenges and mistakes. When you do this, your team feels safe to do the same. Imagine a leader who never admits to mistakes. It creates a culture of fear and perfectionism. But when a leader is honest about their struggles, it fosters a sense of belonging. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, 71% of employees believe that a manager's ability to show vulnerability leads to higher levels of trust. One practical strategy is to share your learning experiences. For example, if you tried a new project and it didn't work out, talk about what you learned from it. This shows your team that failure is a part of growth. It also encourages them to take risks and be innovative without fear of blame. Another strategy is to ask for feedback. When you actively seek your team's opinions, it shows that you value their input. This can be as simple as asking, "What do you think about this idea?" Or, "How can we improve this process?" Vulnerability also means being open about your weaknesses. Instead of pretending to know everything, say, "I'm not sure about this, but I will find out." This honesty is refreshing and builds credibility. It's okay not to have all the answers. Lastly, practice active listening. When your team talks, really listen to them without thinking about your response. This shows respect and understanding. Remember, vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a strength that can transform your leadership style and your team's performance. Chapter 2. Empathy as a superpower. Empathy is not just a buzzword, it's a crucial leadership skill. It's about understanding and sharing the feelings of others. According to a study by the Center for Creative Leadership, leaders who show empathy have employees who are more engaged and productive. Start by practicing active listening. This means giving your full attention to the speaker, nodding, and asking questions. For example, if a team member is stressed about a deadline, acknowledge their feelings. "I see you're worried about the deadline. How can I support you?" Another strategy is to put yourself in their shoes. Try to see situations from their perspective. If a team member is late to work, instead of getting angry, ask if everything is okay. There might be a personal issue affecting their punctuality. Show genuine interest in your team's lives. Remember their birthdays, ask about their weekends, and celebrate their achievements. This builds a personal connection and shows that you care about them as individuals. Emotional intelligence, EQ, plays a big role in empathy. Leaders with high EQ are aware of their own emotions and can regulate them. They also understand and influence the emotions of others. Daniel Goleman, an expert on emotional intelligence, says, "CEOs are hired for their intellect and business expertise and fired for a lack of emotional intelligence." Empathy also means being patient. Sometimes, your team needs time to express their thoughts and feelings. Give them that space without interrupting or rushing them. This shows that you value their input. A unique fact: Google's Project Aristotle found that the most important factor in team success is psychological safety. This means creating an environment where everyone feels safe to speak up and be themselves. Empathy is key to building this kind of environment. Lastly, be consistent in your empathetic behavior. It's not enough to show empathy once in a while. Make it a part of your daily interactions. Over time, this will build a strong, loyal, and motivated team. Remember, empathy is a superpower that every leader can develop. It leads to stronger relationships and a more harmonious workplace. Chapter 3. Visionary Storytelling. Storytelling isn't just for authors, it's a vital tool for leaders. Great leaders use storytelling to inspire and connect with their teams. Steve Jobs, for instance, was a master storyteller. He used stories to explain the vision of Apple, making complex ideas simple and engaging. Start by knowing your audience. Understand what motivates them and what they care about. This way, your stories will resonate more deeply. A study from Stanford University shows that people remember stories up to 22 times more than facts alone. Next, craft a clear and compelling vision. Use vivid and relatable examples to illustrate your points. For instance, instead of saying, "We need to increase sales," say, "Imagine our team celebrating a 20% increase in sales by the end of the year." Picture the new opportunities and rewards that will come with it. Use personal anecdotes. Share stories from your own experiences. This adds authenticity and helps your team relate to you. For example, talk about a time you faced a challenge and how you overcame it. This not only inspires but also shows your human side. Incorporate metaphors and analogies. These make complex ideas easier to understand. For example, compare your company's journey to climbing a mountain, highlighting the highs and lows along the way. This creates a memorable image that sticks with your team. Engage emotions. Great stories evoke emotions, whether it's excitement, empathy, or determination. A quote by Maya Angelou sums it up well. "People will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel." Use emotional triggers to drive your message home. Encourage team members to share their stories too. This fosters a sense of community and shared purpose. It also brings diverse perspectives, enriching the overall narrative. Ask questions like, "Can anyone share a recent success or challenge?" to get the conversation started. Finally, practice your storytelling. Like any skill, it gets better with practice. Rehearse your stories and refine them based on feedback. Over time, you'll become a more effective and inspiring storyteller. Remember, visionary storytelling can turn ordinary messages into powerful motivators. Chapter 4. Innovative Problem-Solving Techniques. Problem-solving is a critical skill for leaders. But sometimes, traditional methods just don't cut it. That's where innovative techniques come in. One such method is design thinking. It's a human-centered approach that focuses on empathy and experimentation. Start by understanding the problem deeply. Talk to the people affected by it and gather their insights. According to IDEO, a leading design firm, this empathetic approach often reveals unexpected solutions. For example, when designing a new product, ask potential users about their needs and frustrations. Next, brainstorm without limits. Encourage your team to think outside the box. No idea is too wild at this stage. Use techniques like mind mapping to visualize connections between ideas. This can lead to unique and creative solutions. Another technique is lateral thinking, coined by Edward de Bono. It involves looking at problems from different angles. For example, if you're facing a budget cut, instead of just reducing expenses, think about alternative revenue streams. This can open up new possibilities that you hadn't considered before. Use prototyping to test ideas quickly. Build simple models of your solutions and see how they work in the real world. This iterative process allows you to refine your ideas based on feedback. It's a key part of the design thinking process and helps avoid costly mistakes. Collaborate across departments. Sometimes the best solutions come from unexpected places. Involve team members from different areas of your organization. They bring fresh perspectives that can spark innovative ideas. For instance, marketing might have insights that can help solve a production issue. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Not every idea will work, and that's okay. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Encourage your team to take risks and learn from their failures. Lastly, keep an open mind. Be willing to adapt and change your approach based on new information. Flexibility is crucial for innovative problem solving. Remember, the goal is to find the best solution, not to stick rigidly to one method. Innovative problem-solving techniques can transform how your team tackles challenges. By embracing new methods and encouraging creativity, you'll find solutions that are both effective and inspiring. Chapter 5. Cultivating a growth mindset culture. Creating a growth mindset culture in your team is essential for continuous improvement. A growth mindset, coined by Carol Dweck, is the belief that abilities can be developed through hard work and dedication. It contrasts with a fixed mindset, where people believe their talents are innate and unchangeable. Start by modeling a growth mindset yourself. Show your team that you're committed to learning and improving. For instance, share your personal development goals and the steps you're taking to achieve them. This sets a powerful example. Encourage your team to embrace challenges. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks, view them as opportunities to grow. Praise effort and persistence, not just results. According to Dweck, this type of praise helps people develop resilience and a love for learning. Provide regular feedback that focuses on the process, not just the outcome. For example, instead of saying, "Great job on the project," say, "I appreciate the creative approach you took and the hard work you put in." This emphasizes the importance of effort and strategy. Create a safe environment for taking risks. Let your team know that it's okay to make mistakes as long as they learn from them. A study by Google found that psychological safety is the most important factor in high-performing teams. When people feel safe to take risks, they're more likely to innovate. Offer opportunities for continuous learning. Provide access to training programs, workshops, and resources that help your team develop new skills. Encourage them to pursue their interests and support their growth. For example, you could set aside time each week for learning activities. Use goal setting to motivate and guide your team. Help them set specific, challenging, and achievable goals. Break these goals into smaller, manageable steps. This makes the process less daunting and more attainable. Remember to celebrate progress along the way. Promote a culture of feedback and reflection. Encourage your team to regularly reflect on their experiences and seek feedback from others. This helps them identify areas for improvement and develop a growth mindset. For example, hold regular feedback sessions where team members can share their thoughts and learn from each other. Lastly, be patient and persistent. Cultivating a growth mindset culture takes time and effort. Stay committed to the process and support your team every step of the way. Over time, you'll see a transformation in their attitudes and performance. Remember, a growth mindset is the key to unlocking your team's full potential. Chapter 6. The Art of Strategic Delegation. Delegation is more than just assigning tasks. It's about empowering your team and maximizing productivity. Effective delegation allows you to focus on high-priority tasks while developing your team's skills. Start by identifying the right tasks to delegate. Look for tasks that are time-consuming but don't require your direct involvement. For example, routine administrative tasks can be handled by your team, freeing you up for strategic planning. Choose the right person for each task. Consider their skills, experience, and interests. Delegating tasks that align with their strengths will lead to better results. According to a Gallup study, managers who delegate effectively generate 33% higher revenue. Communicate your expectations clearly. Provide detailed instructions and set clear goals. Make sure your team understands the task's importance and the desired outcome. For example, instead of just saying, "Finish the report," say, "Complete the report by Friday," focusing on the sales data for the last quarter. Give your team the autonomy to complete the task. Micromanaging can undermine their confidence and motivation. Trust them to do the job and provide support when needed. A quote from Theodore Roosevelt sums it up: "The best executive is the one who has sense enough to pick good men to do what he wants done, and self-restraint enough to keep from meddling with them while they do it." Provide the necessary resources and support. Ensure your team has the tools and information they need to succeed. This could include training, access to software, or additional personnel. For example, if you're delegating a project that requires specific skills, offer a training session beforehand. Set milestones and check-ins. Break the task into smaller parts and set deadlines for each stage. Regular check-ins help you monitor progress and provide feedback. This keeps the project on track and allows you to address any issues early on. Encourage your team to ask questions and seek clarification. An open line of communication ensures that they fully understand the task and can perform it effectively. Create an environment where they feel comfortable reaching out for help. Recognize and reward their efforts. Acknowledge their hard work and celebrate their successes. This boosts morale and encourages them to take on more responsibilities. For instance, a simple, "Thank you for your great work on this project," can go a long way. Finally, reflect on the delegation process. After the task is completed, discuss what went well and what could be improved. This feedback loop helps you refine your delegation skills and supports your team's development. Strategic delegation is an art that requires careful planning and execution. By empowering your team and providing clear guidance, you can enhance productivity and foster a culture of trust and growth. Remember, effective delegation is key to successful leadership.